All right, everybody. What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? This is the Breaking Brews podcast. This is the Breaking Brews podcast. There it is. There it is. There it is.
We're back.
Yeah, something like that. Making up words on the podcast.
Like John Williams. I almost said John Cena.
I know. She grew up in a kava bar. What's going on, guys? This is the Breaking Brews podcast, episode 23. I'm your host, Mikey 2.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
We are testing a lot of new things today.
We
have a brand new camera stand. We have new mics. So we tested this out for a Mitra commercial. Was not our plan to use these originally, but I left all of our mic equipment about 2 hours away. So, we
way
went
to
with what
go,
we got.
Mikey.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm known for leaving stuff behind.
It's okay.
But we actually,
we need to put these mics to
we
use
we got to test them out. They're actually really good quality. So, somebody we're going to be interviewing later, Chad, he's an employee here. Actually, I guess I should say, we are up in Daytona Beach. We're at RAD Kava bar.
Yep.
And I mean, ever since I came out here for the first time, I mean, this is probably one of the most unique kava bars, especially ever since Christmas, because they put up these lights.
I
like
love
that they're
lights.
Because here's the thing is, right now, as you can tell from our background is super colorful. We got the colorful pillows, the colorful art, but like they got Christmas lights. If you guys watched, we posted on the channel their commercial, so you guys will get to see all that. But it's really cool bar.
Yeah.
It's got the brick walls, which it feels like, when me and Moose went to New York City, there's only one
like
kava bar.
Chicago bricks.
Yeah. There was only one kava bar in all of New York City, and it's a Sutra in Soho. And literally, I kid you not, the entire bar was probably the size of from that wall to here to the bar there. Like,
and I really like how they didn't cover it up with a mural or anything. It just,
because like I don't know, it separates it. Like it separates like the industrial side of that, but then like the super artistic side over here. But it's really cool. They're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff here. I'm pretty sure by the time we come back out here, they're gonna be tearing down the walls in the back there. I'm pretty sure.
They're gonna be expanding the bar.
I'm not exactly sure. I'll let them talk about that when they get up here. So we're gonna get right into it. So every single episode we start out with a segment we like to call This or That, where we take two topics, this or that, and we explain which we like better and why. And then we invite some people from the audience, some regulars, to come up and talk about which they like better and why. So our first one today is gonna be, let's see. So we are in Daytona. Daytona, you have the Speedway, you have Bike Week, you have Rockville.
That is this upcoming weekend.
Motocross. We're literally right here. So we're on Daytona Speedway International Drive.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the main event.
Yeah, we're like, I think probably like 2 miles, about a mile and a half away from it. And it's cool because every time, if you guys are keeping up with our socials, we always post it when we're down this area. But, kind of sticking with, the beachy vibes. Daytona, kind of used to be known back in the days for surfing. So, but also skateboarding. Skateboarding is pretty big out here as well. So the question for us is, which would we rather learn? Would we rather learn how to skate or learn how to surf?
Well,
Lauren said on the way she thinks she's a pro at both, but
I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I was born and raised in Florida. So I first started out learning how to surf when I was little.
Really?
And I was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was pretty good. And I started out on a longboard. And that was a tiny little thing. And my dad sent me out there. I could stand up, ride a wave all the way in. But what ended up happening is I'd get tumbled in the waves.
Yeah.
I'd be so tiny and frail, I couldn't push the board up. And at one point I almost drowned, actually. You have to be careful. Definitely go out with a bunch of people and go out with people if this is your first time, or just in general when it comes to swimming, especially out in the ocean.
So I have a pretty cool first time. So the first time I ever surfboarded, I was in Hawaii. I was in Oahu.
Pretty awesome.
So I am terrible at it. I've never surfed since because I scraped my knee on coral and cried like a little baby and was like, I'm done. But mind you, I was 8, so I get away with it.
But I told my dad, I was like, listen, I don't want to ever use a longboard again. And he bought me this beautiful longboard. It had hibiscus flowers. It was pink. It was just gorgeous. And So I rode shortboard for a while, but what ended up happening is I just had trouble like duck diving, and then I eventually gave up with it. But I was getting pretty good for my age.
One cool thing, so whenever I used to bring them out, we had J-Boy try it. It's the manager of Island Route Downtown Melbourne. Everybody, like whenever I used to bring out, everybody would learn how to ride these things, and it was funny to watch because I was so into collecting stuff like that. Like we talked about this a couple episodes. Like my hoarding obsession is with electric vehicles and stuff like that. It was funny because Everett was picking on me because we almost ran over somebody on an electric scooter. Which, by the way, if you drive an electric scooter and you ride it on the road, you are at fault for me running you over because those things go like max 25 miles an hour. But like you should not be riding it on a main roadway doesn't even have a bike lane. Like there's got to be some law against that. I feel like you guys probably have it worse because you guys are in a tourist city. Those like the bird scooters.
Oh, the birds. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, they should
Especially
not be
in Orlando.
out
I mean, we used to go out I remember whenever we were with Richie and we went to the Orlando City Games. Like, there's nowhere to ride those except for the road, so you kind of have to hope you don't get run over.
They have a lot of sidewalks out there. You definitely could. I think it's just hard to ride them on the sidewalks because there are so many people just on the sidewalk.
I feel like they don't take care of their sidewalks in Orlando as well.
Yeah. At least it's not as bad as New Orleans.
New Orleans. I've still yet to go out there.
My ankle out there.
Dude, I still haven't gone out there. You know, that's one thing we're gonna have to do after Cinco de Mayo is go out to New Orleans.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring up somebody from the audience here, and we are going to have them kind of give their 2 cents on it.
Well, welcome back. It's nice to have you all the way out here with us. See a familiar face. So which would you rather? Would you rather picking up how to learn like how to surf, or would you rather skateboarding?
Well, I actually do both, but if I had to learn them all over again, in fact, we're always learning, so
yeah,
learning. Surfing for sure, because skating's fun, but surfing, I feel there's a spiritual component there for me too. I kind of see the ocean as like an image of eternity.
Yeah,
so,
it's ever giving, you know.
Exactly.
And
I mean, between that and the sun and just being around all the wildlife, like dolphins, turtles.
Yeah,
sharks,
it's very therapeutic as well, you know, like even touching the sand, being out in the sun, getting all those good vitamins, it is very therapeutic and good for you.
You can meditate too, you know. I mean, if you sit there and catch no waves, it's still a good day because you're out there in the water.
Yeah, it's never a bad day. No, it's okay. So, what would be your most ideal day to go out surfing?
Ideal day to go out
like,
surfing?
What do you like to do? Longboard, shortboard?
Right now, I'm doing the longboards. My goal this year is to learn something shorter, like, I don't know, 6 or so. I've tried it before and not done too well.
Yeah, so you like more of the laid back days where it's just a nice steady set and not so much, because I know people who love shortboards and they love when the hurricanes come around and the swells and it's just like one after another. Not necessarily blown out, but yeah, it gets crazy out there.
I want to get up to that point at some point, but I guess I'm still learning this.
Yeah.
So
and so, where are you from? Are you based like from Melbourne? Did you grow up surfing in Melbourne?
No, I didn't. I didn't start surfing until 2018.
Okay. And where was that?
That was in Cocoa Beach.
Okay. Where good old Kelly Slater is from.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, I mean, I was in a pretty deep depression around that time, and I needed something to get out of it. Writing was my main passion, but that just wasn't working for me back then. And then I met this author named Jamal Yogis, he's a very strong Buddhist, and he's also a surfer, and he wrote this amazing book. And I met him at Kerouac House. And
so he kind of inspired you to get out there and at least try it.
Yeah. And
that's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Would you say it really did help with your depression and help you come out of it? Okay.
Big time, yeah.
Well, that's great.
So that was the shift in my world that I needed. So.
And do you happen to remember the name of the book for maybe people out there who'd want to read about it? Or
it was called All Our Waves Are Water. It was by Jamal Yogis.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming up and sharing.
Yay.
Okay, we're getting on to our next question, and I already know what it is.
So our next question is going to be, which would we rather do? A couple of kava shots, or would you rather just keep it old school OG and just do some shells?
You know, I have to say I am a sipper when it comes to kava, but honestly, like if I want to get the job done, kava shots.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't preferably like the taste, even with creamer and flavoring, so I'd just rather
it's
just get it
to
done
get
with.
into.
I'd rather just chug it. Or just like take something that's a bit stronger that is in the form of a shot, for sure. What about you?
See, you know, I'm always going to keep it old school. I like keeping it traditional. I'm all about the shells because, especially whenever I come here, you know, it's different than if I do it at another kava bar. They really do make it feel like a whole family coming together, especially with Chad and Charlie. They've just always, you know, they're like, come on, do a shell with us, or whatever. And like, they make it fun. Like, it's not particular, like, it almost feels like a job at other kava bars. Like someone's like, oh, we're doing a shell call. And then you're like, oh, okay, I gotta stop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But whenever they call, a shell call, it's different. It really is like one of the
bringing everybody together.
It brings everybody together. Everybody's excited. It's very rare that there's any kind of like negative or like sad vibes in here. Like every time I've come out here, we either play Tapple, which by the way, if you're a kava bar, you would love the game Tapple. Like,
what is Tapple?
So what it is you hit a button and it starts a 15-second timer, and you draw these cards, and what you do is everybody in the group has to find a word with the letter. You want to get all the letters out, and you want to go see how many times you can go around. But if you let's say
that sounds crazy.
It's so much fun, and it's like, it seems hectic, but it is it's probably one of the most fun games I've ever played at a kava bar, and it's not even like kava related. But there's some cards where it's like choose your own. So like we did one, it was like kava bar names or something like that, and you want to try and stump everybody. So like or you want to try and see how many times you can go around with one card. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks at home. Or you just me. You can like look at that to introduce yourself. So I'll go ahead and be like, all right, you're good. Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks at home.
Hi, my name is Taj. Really
Yeah. You don't have to give your last name or anything like that.
I come to RAD Kava because it's really cool and awesome.
This isn't staged, I swear. But no.
He has a knife. And he's
Yeah, I have a gun under the table right now. You guys can't see it. So, one thing that we're talking about right now is, which do we prefer more, kava shots or just taking a bunch of shells? What's your go-to?
See, I've never did a kava shot.
Really?
I always did shells, and shells are more my thing. Sometimes they're fun,
Yeah.
and then like sometimes it's like you want to sit and relax for a minute, and it's like drinking like nice coffee on a nice day, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you'll probably be part of the crawl, right?
Yeah.
There's, I'm pretty sure at least 2 of the 5 places we're going have kava shots. I will say, I mean, it has a very disgusting taste. It is not a good taste, but some people drink it. Well, nobody drinks it for the taste. I can guarantee you that, unless there's somebody who likes to drink gasoline. But people like it for the effects. The effects are way quicker. The way I would describe it is probably the concentrate of like 4 shells in one go.
Is it like euphoric or anything?
I would say so, because almost like so kava in itself, like shells in them and they're on their own hand, is very dehydrating, but that is like super concentrated, so you kind of get that, I would say, kind of a loopy sense. Like you start to feel really relaxed. Like those are the people that are looking to get rooted really quick. The one thing though I recommend to anybody, if you're gonna do a kava shot, is spread the babies out. Like, do not take 2 or 3 back to back. You will be thrown up. Especially for your first time, honestly, dude, 1 will probably be good enough. I don't think the kava shots particularly follow any tolerance rule, just because no matter what, you're gonna feel it. I would recommend, people usually do lemonade. They usually do lemonade or creamer, like kind of like, what do you call those? What do you call after you take a shot? Like a chaser. Chaser, that's what it is. I'm very, very ignorant to the drink game. But well, we kind of like to get to know the people we interview. So about how long have you been in the community for?
For about like a year now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was this your first kava bar?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah? Where else have you gone? Do you go out to any of the other ones in the area?
I've been
Sunset.
like it.
We've heard a lot about that.
Bro, the disco ball was so cool.
There's a disco ball.
Yeah, there's a disco ball, and they changed the lighting and everything, and it just looks so cool.
Pete from Kava Job, we were just down there. He was telling us like to go check out Sunset. It's funny, my brother lives out in DeLand, and our buddy that came with us, he's from out in Orlando near UCF, so it's not too far from DeLand.
Well, if you're doing the Kava crawl.
Oh, yeah, we're doing the Kava crawl.
Sunset is a part of the Kava crawl.
Yeah, guys.
$15.
And you get free drinks at every bar.
And a free t-shirt if you go to every bar.
Yo, free t-shirt. And on top of that, I'm performing at the after party, so like what more could you want from a Kava crawl? You get Mikey too, you get the fellas at RAD, and you get the fellas at 4 other Kava bars. So if you're really looking to get more involved in the community, a Kava crawl is really the best place to get into.
And that's how you do a plug. Seamlessly.
See, look at that. That wasn't staged. That was way easier than getting us to tell us his name. So, what if you come here? You come here pretty much like almost every day, right?
Yeah.
What is your go-to drink at the bar?
Good old Arnold Palmer green
Arnold Palmer.
tea with some lemonade. Sometimes I get a RAD Dog, which is the Mandarin mint. That's what I get
Woo, love the Mandarin mint.
with the red. And then I switch up the flavors all the time. Right now I'm drinking strawberry kiwi.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were actually one of the first people to sample the Mandarin mint. So Big Dog is one of our sponsors, and we interviewed him about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And dude he makes a good product. Like, I love anything with mint. I'm usually not a big Mandarin guy, but they really killed it with this Mandarin mint. Like, I'm really picky, especially with kombucha. Like, before Big Dog, I genuinely don't have to say this. Like, I'm genuinely speaking, like, you will not catch me drinking any other kombucha because I hate the taste of vinegar. Once I met Chad and David and Charles, seriously, I mean, everything changed from them, where I was like, I have to do an episode here. We got to meet up. And I made cold calls, to a bunch of bars, and David was just so open to it right away. He's like, dude, that sounds cool. Sounds cool. And then, before I set anything in stone, I always come and check out a bar to make sure, the vibes are right. They fall kind of into what I would say like a good moral Kava bar is, which it has nothing to do with like beliefs or anything like that, but like they aren't over serving. They're able to explain the product, and they're able to give a warm and inviting feeling, because even if just one of those things is off, it spirals the Kava bar. And I've seen Kava bars come and go. I've been to over I'd probably been to over 60 Kava bars. Like, there's a lot in the state of Florida, and I've been to a couple outside of the state of Florida. And I mean, if there's anybody that knows a good Kava bar, I feel like I can. I'm the guy, man. I can point you anywhere in the state you want to go. I can point you at least 2 or 3 Kava bars that are pretty good. Yeah, I love it. I love what I do. We have a lot of fun with this, and we get to meet a lot of cool people like you guys. I mean, seriously, I honestly would consider myself a regular with how much I drive down here. Like, that's a real test of a Kava bar. If you're willing to drive an hour and a half to come to a Kava bar just for a couple hours, man, like,
I do it every day. I live in Daytona.
what? That's crazy. See, I mean, that's what it's all about, is creating regulars that want to come back, and they really run a tight ship here. So we're going to be getting into talking to them here in a minute, but we appreciate you talking with us, man. We're going to get into our second segment of the show we like to call Inner Brews, where we interview someone or multiple people that, have made a big impact on the community and are doing something to further progress the growth of the community. And we're going to start out here with the owner himself of RAD Kava. Well, David, go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks at home.
I'm David. I'm one of the owners of Rooting Around Downtown.
And you really run a pretty good ship here. You got a great staff. You got great regulars. What kind of inspired you to get into this community in the first place?
Oh man, kind of stumbled across it on accident with my buddy Josh that you guys talked to earlier.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he introduced me to it, and I looked for one that was close to my house, and rest is history.
So
Yeah,
what was the first Kava bar you went to then?
It was Island Root in Melbourne.
Really? That was our
Wow,
first Kava
okay,
bar. That's
yeah.
awesome.
I feel like Island Root is such like a staple Kava bar brand.
Oh yeah.
So did you live in Melbourne?
No.
No, did you live out here?
At the time, I lived in downtown Orlando.
Okay.
And then my home bar was Kava Cove.
Kava Cove. Oh,
Where is
dude, I
that?
love Kava Cove.
It's
So
in Winter Point.
Yeah, it's in Winter
Okay.
Park. So I actually went out there. We might be doing an episode out there.
That'd be
We got to
awesome.
meet the whole crew out there. They're a really cool place. It's very traditional. It's funny. People kind of described it. They're like, it's the place with all the different furniture in it. It's
Yeah.
like all the furniture that doesn't fit together, but it's really cozy. They got it's really big. Like I would say, it's probably the size of probably like Calm Collective Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
Like
That's a pretty decent size.
yeah, it goes very far back deep, and it's right along 50 or not 50. Is it 50? Yeah, Colonial 50. And it's a really cool kava bar. I mean, they have really unique drinks. Like the flavors, one thing I say is Kratom kind of has its own flavor, just like kava does, but it's not as strong.
Yeah.
But theirs really had no, you didn't taste the bitterness of the tea, which is a really hard thing to kind of get down with Kratom tea, is getting rid of that bitterness.
Yeah.
You
You have such a great vibe here. What inspired you to go with this theme? How
I guess
would
what
you
is your
describe
theme?
your bar as a theme?
Initially, I think we were just like, let's pick the theme after we find the spot, because I wanted it to like represent what the area was instead of like predetermining it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just wanted to do something different. We decided to do black and neon.
Yeah,
We
I
kinda
would
wanna
say
do the-
this is the best looking kava bar that's ever done neon.
Really?
Like it's done very tastefully.
Oh,
Like I know there's a lot of kava bars that try and do it like
With the black lights.
the black
and
lights. Like there's some
the
places like
splatter walls.
too
This
much.
Is perfect.
yeah.
Like I know you're probably thinking of the place I'm thinking of or whatnot, but this place really, they have the place that we're probably thinking of, like in town. They just have one color scheme.
You know what I think is so great about this too is you have a lot going on this section of the bar as well as the lights, but then you have that brick beautiful wall that kind of just tones it down, so it like complements each other,
That's
like
an
both
original wall,
pieces.
too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
1910.
1910. Wow.
Yeah, you
It-
can't cover up bricks like that. It's just historical and beautiful.
So who did your art here on the wall? Cause like that's one really big focal point when you walk in.
So I forget what we were doing. I think we were throwing garbage away, and I happened to go down this alley, like right over here, and I saw a mural on the wall, and I'm like, oh man, I want this person to do the wall, and saw her name, looked her up on Instagram. Her name's Beth O'Connor. She's amazing. She did the other wall down there too.
Yeah, it's
That's super
absolutely
cool.
beautiful.
Like some people would kind of like say like it's almost messy, but it's like there's order to the splatter.
Yeah.
Especially with the I don't know how like the neon light, but the black light is making kind of like a neon effect around the neon light.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's awesome, man. I mean,
It's
it
super
really,
sick in here.
and I especially love that you guys switched and you've kept these so far.
Yeah.
I love the rainbow lights up
And
top.
honestly, to me, it doesn't even look like Christmas lights.
It doesn't.
It reminds
Especially
me
'cause
of
of
like
the color.
a Mexican restaurant, how they have those
That's what I
lights.
say.
To be honest, but like the colors of the lights and how neon they are match perfectly with
That's pretty good.
everything else.
It does. Yeah, we're gonna replace them and get ones that like you can change the colors and stuff.
Oh, you?
Like
No,
the-
I think you should keep them up.
Just
I think it
these?
really adds to the place.
Well, here's the thing: it would be weird if you guys didn't have so much color in here. If it was just like black wall with like a couple pieces of art,
Oh, that'd be
but
cool.
like it matches the pillows match the painting,
Pillows,
which match the
mural.
lights.
Yeah, I think you have to keep them.
And I see. So do you guys also sell local artists' work as well?
Yeah, so one of our employees, Jess, maybe you guys will get to speak with her. All the art you see right there, that's all her.
It's unique
amazing.
looking. I like it.
Yeah.
It's very. It's oh my gosh! I didn't even know. That's so detailed. The one. It's like like maybe like a dock or
The
something or a
match?
bridge.
Oh.
Or not the
match is
the,
beautiful.
the match is pretty. I'm talking about the one that's like the ocean waves.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
super cool. You guys have a lot of
There's
it's
just
like
a
there's
lot to look at.
There's a lot to look at, but it's not
It's not.
it's
too
not
much.
exhausting. Like some
Yeah.
places like I remember before Kava Tea Club had their big revamp where it's super pretty now. They used to have like probably close to 40 different paintings, and each painting was like different and like
Nothing.
it wasn't like it was supposed to be kind of like an art gallery, but there was
It
just
was-
so much going on that
yeah,
it was
not
like
cohesive.
it would drain my energy. I'd be like, I need to like a blindfold on when I walk in here. But now they have a couple pieces of art and it fits, and just like everything here fits. And I like you guys are painting that little the bookshelf and the game
that's
shelf.
awesome.
Most of the things in here were made by regulars. So like I didn't want to put art up unless it was made by somebody that comes here all the time.
Yeah.
So like even
That's
that
awesome.
shelf is made by a regular. I mean,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they can come in and look at their work.
yeah.
And that's one thing is like, so it really draws out business, especially whenever you have local art, because somebody like, oh, if you go out to this kava bar, like my art's up, and then like maybe somebody might not have ever heard of a kava bar and be like, oh, what's that? And then they come in here, they see the art, and then they kind of just get to talking to the employees. They're like, oh, so what's this kava thing? And you know, you hear it all the time. You probably hear it a couple times a day, like what's kava? And you have to explain it. And you know, you really have a great staff that's able to explain and describe in detail the difference between kava and kratom, which is super important. Having your knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge is really important of the product, like knowledge of the product in a kava bar. Because especially if they're just going based on what they hear about and they read about online, they need somebody as warm and welcoming as your staff to be able to ease them into it and be like, listen, you gotta ignore some of that hoopla. This is what it does. And like, especially the way they go about, like,
It makes having bartenders that are super knowledgeable about it. I feel like as soon as that person walks in, and even if they're nervous about it and they just hear you speak and how much knowledge your servers have of it, it really like intrigues them and grabs their attention. They're like, okay, maybe that other stuff is actually false, because what he's saying, he sounds very knowledgeable, is most likely true.
Yeah. We picked people that were part of the community and actually loved the bar to work here. So.
I mean, I heard Charlie, we had 2 guys come in that were first timers, and he was explaining it pretty dang well. And he, that's the first impression you make is the make or break moment for anybody coming back in. Like, if you serve them a product that tastes like crap, then they're gonna be less likely to try a second one. Like, because you get one first impression, and if it's a bad, that's one thing I tell anybody that's a kava tender. Every drink you make for someone, taste it before you give it to them, especially if they're a first timer, because that's all it takes. Because I've seen it, I've seen it tons of times at different kava bars, like where I go in and I kind of try and teach them the proper way to go about serving kava and how to explain things. And you know, I've seen it happen so many times where someone's like, oh, it's my first time. The bartender does not check the drink, and it might be something. Or they just serve them something that's very potent and it's the best tasting option, you know, to kind of ease them into it. And one thing is setting up a checklist, because the one continuous issue is places opening up or whatever in the first hour or two, they haven't somebody come in and they haven't tested their product. So let's say I've seen it where they start doing the nitrogen tea, and let's say they switch up the hose, they turn the wrong hose on, it carbonates it instead of puts the hydrogen in it. Carbonation in kratom tea makes it incredibly bitter. But hydrogen does the opposite. So like they gave it to 2 people for the first time ever coming in, and like within probably 30 seconds, he turned his back to go put the thing away, and they just walked out because it was so gross. And like you know, you want to make sure that you're always checking in on your peeps, making sure their drinks are good, because even if you check on them, like you stay there till they have their first sip, read their face, you know, you don't have to say anything, you know, and maybe that's what they actually think it's supposed to taste like. I mean, and they're like, why would I want to drink this? Regulars will definitely say something, whereas a new person, they may just assume that's it. Yeah. Well, I guess one thing that I've been wanting to ask you is you came into the community and you tested it out, but like what actually, like what at what moment were you like, I want to open my own kava bar?
It was pretty early on. I mean, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but if you hang out in a bar long enough and people that just keep coming back, a lot of people are like, I want to do this. Yeah. It's very common. For me, I think being stuck in a corporate job, it was soul sucking. Yeah. And it really got me out of my shell. So I learned to just have casual conversation with strangers, and I'm like, wow, this is like, it changed my life. So I'm like, if I can do this, this is what I want to do. And it took me a good 5-6 years of really, like, I traveled the country and went to every bar that I could possibly think of and talked to managers and owners, and And I was pretty dead set. I mean, I was telling all of my friends and family, I'm like, I am going to open a kava bar.
It's crazy. It's something I was mentioning not too long ago. I think it might have been like a couple weeks ago. Whenever we were prepping for this episode, I was going through my phone to text you, and originally I just had you as David Kava, and I realized there are so many people that manage or own kava bars named David throughout the entire country. I literally had 5 David Kavas in my phone. I was like, no way. So like I would like, instead of being like unprofessional and being like, hey, what store are you at? I'd be like, oh, how's the weather over there? So I'd be able to gauge if it was Dallas David or Daytona David or Miami David. Like, oh, the weather's
it's
getting a little
up the weather.
Yeah. I'm
like,
over here.
Okay, this might be it. Like, it's raining there
I was
today.
acting like the girl that's in CSI, the blonde girl that sits in the chair and she's like always on the phone with everybody. You get a lot of different kind of kava bars. Like this one, I would for sure say, we say there's 2 kinds. There's kava lounges and kava bars. And this one most definitely fits the bar aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is really nice. And we really appreciate you taking your time talking with us, dude, giving us a place to come out here and talk.
Thank you so much.
We're going to get into interviewing 2 of your employees. So we're really excited to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So next we're gonna get one of the kava tenders up here, Charles. Charles is I would say probably the basis. Come on in, get on in here. Charles would probably be the basis of like, you know, someone who knows the product well, super welcoming and inviting, and I don't know, he's someone that's just. I didn't feel awkward whenever I first met him. You know, sometimes when you go into a kava bar, it's almost nerve-wracking to go somewhere you've never been before, surrounded by a whole bunch of people that you're not familiar with. And you just give a good smile. You kind of remind me of like My Name is Earl a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
I'll take that.
What's his name? Jason. Yeah. No, Jason something. It starts with an S. There's a lot of Jason S's that are famous. But
I'll take Statham.
yeah, you can be yeah. You'll have to shave your head for that though.
Yeah, once I donate it, I'll shave it.
But you really are. I mean, we were just talking about it. You're super knowledgeable about the product. You had 2 guys come in here that never had kava kratom. How did you go about explaining it to them? I guess this is a really good learning moment for people at home.
Yeah.
How would you get someone introduced?
I mean, I like to be as transparent as possible. I think that it's unique what's sold here. So like, there's a lot of details that a lot of people might miss, and I don't want anyone to like leave here and wonder what it was, or like the effects, or the potential. Like, you know, there's pros and cons to everything, and I like people to know exactly what they're getting themselves into.
The worst thing I ever did is I forgot to mention the numbing effect of kava, and someone started freaking out, man. And I was like, why are you freaking out?
What I was about to say is I'm so glad you like told them and described to them that like, okay, like kava does numb the mouth and does numb the tongue, because a lot of people, when new people come into their bar, but when the bartenders are explaining it to them, they forget that one important thing. And I've heard so many people be like, oh, I think I'm having an allergic reaction, or that feels weird, what's going on? And I'm so glad that you mentioned that to them, because not a lot of bartenders do. And it's insanely important because, like you said, you don't want them to leave and be like, what's going on with me? Or maybe, you know, this is something I can't drink.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a common side effect.
I would say the second half of that is for the teas. I always tell everyone to drink it slowly in the beginning and like on a full stomach, because it used to be like a rite of passage to drink too much of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, like, while it's, you know, it's part of the process, at the same time it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. So, how long have you been in the community?
It's about, like, I would say a year and a half.
Year and a half?
I would say. Actually, I know the exact day. It was it was May 23rd, 2023.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
I know it to the day. There was just a lot of stuff that was going on in my life. Like a lot of like everything kind of hit critical mass at the same time. There was a lot of family stuff going on. There was like anniversaries of things that weren't so fun. And I remember there was like this pivotal moment where I was like, either I go drink myself into a coma or I find something else. And a buddy of mine had been trying to get me to go to a kava bar for like 5 months. And I was like, not doing it. Like, and then that day I, for some reason, picked up the phone. I was like, all right, what's that place? And so I went, I remember I walked in, they were giving me the spiel, and I was like, don't care, didn't ask. Like, just whatever the anti-anxiety drink is, just make sure it's not empty. And that's when I realized it wasn't a placebo effect. Like, I have crippling ADHD, and I watched like one of those like AI generated like movie, like or like mushroom video.
Yeah.
I watched it for like 2 hours and forgot what I was anxious about, and I was like, oh, this stuff actually.
Yeah, I used to think it was a placebo effect as well. I walked in, I think it was Island Route downtown, and I just turned 18, and I was like, I've always wanted to come in here, but I wasn't old enough. And they gave me my first shell, drank it, didn't really feel anything at the time. I'm like, all these people are crazy that are sitting down at the bar, like, it's a placebo effect. But then I remember I kept going, and then I tried Kratom, and then it was my girlfriend and I were driving back home at the time, and at the same time it hit us as we were driving, kind of getting that little motion sickness. We're like, oh my gosh, it's not a placebo effect, this stuff is actually working.
I found it fun that it kind of sneaks up on you.
Oh yeah.
It's not like it hits you like a brick wall. You just kind of like
it was
notice.
probably like after 3 times going is when it finally hit us.
It's funny because like your tolerance kind of changes over a period of time where like especially with kava you got that reverse tolerance where like that one nobody explained that part to me, but the first couple times I went I really didn't drink a lot, so it really messed up the way that my tolerance went. So it took a little bit longer to get that effect because so they kind of recommend you almost drink a little bit more kava your first time, the first couple times you go, and then you'll require less of it, less of it. Because if you start out with just like one shell, you're pretty much doing nothing to your system. You're not building up anything to it.
Yeah.
It's funny, Chad actually is the first kava tender that I actually had.
Really?
On that day. And I remember him telling me it was a reverse tolerance. So I was like, that's a marketing ploy. And then as time went on, I actually did research, and like there's people who've been posting about it for like years and years and years that it has a reverse tolerance, and like there's like peer-reviewed studies of it, and like it's real reverse tolerance. I think it's something to do with like your body needing to get used to it before it like really lets it filter or something like that. But it's it's good.
Well, we've been talking a lot about like really good things about the effects of the drinks. What is your favorite part about serving at a kava bar? Because I mean it's very different. I've never been an alcohol bartender, but like I've surrounded myself with people that do. And what really brings you a lot of joy? Like why do you stay here?
So I've been in the restaurant industry for 16 years prior to doing this.
Wow. That's a long time.
I managed a restaurant. I was a bartender at multiple restaurants. I've been around that almost my entire life. And the core difference for me is one, I just simply enjoy coming to work. I enjoy doing what I do, and the biggest part about that was, from a restaurant standpoint, it was just get people to drink more to make more money, and I didn't really like that aspect.
Yeah, it feels icky.
It does feel icky. There's like a moral ambiguity around it, whereas here, it's like now I can kind of reel back, and now it's like anybody who walks in that door, like my goal is I want them to feel better or be better by the time they leave that door.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding. You know, it's something that's allowed me to like, I think a lot of people get to a point in their lives where they want to do something meaningful, and that was like my step.
Like I talked about it a couple episodes ago. My first time ever serving, like having my first moment where like it changed somebody's life, that's whenever I realized this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be, man. Like one thing, so my story kind of is I had a really, really old guy that was a burly biker, Mr. No deal with shit. Like he's tough as nails, and he would come out and sit there with his granddaughter because he just wanted to spend time with his family, and he'd stay with his granddaughter, and like that was his soft side, was like, you know, being there to protect his granddaughter. And from her words, he had a really bad drinking problem, and like she was trying to get him to come into the kava bars, try it out, and he never would. And at that time, I was helping open a kava bar, and I was helping kava tend for them. And I told the guys, like, listen, I'm gonna make you a drink, and whether you like it or you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. But that way, if you keep on saying, oh, this is a girl's drink, like I'm never drinking this, you can say you genuinely don't like it, and then you can mean it. Like you have tried it, say you don't like it.
Yeah, like don't knock it until you try it.
And the thing that was crazy is I got him to enjoy kava. So I have my own like little secret recipe where I make banana Foster's French toast kava, and he had it, and from that day forth, it's been now about 3 years, and he hasn't had a drop of alcohol in 3 years. He goes to the kava bar about 3 times a week. He takes way less pain medicine than he was for his back pain, and it's ever since that moment, just to see, and he had a big emotional change. The way he carried himself was way different. His family saw a huge difference in him, and like that's what it's about, is if I can make that one impact on one person at the bar, then I've done my job.
As someone who has a history with anything under the sun when it comes to like abuse and stuff like that, like abuse of like substances, like my family was riddled. Anything you can think of, it was somewhere in there. And it's nice to be someone that might be able to help someone out of that situation.
Oh yeah.
And that to me is invaluable. It's like, it's so rewarding. I wake up and I'm excited to come to work. I'm almost like sad when I have a day off.
Dude, I get that so much. Like, so with this, so I actually got to guest Kava 10 for the first time, probably in a little under a year. Yeah, a little bit under a year. And I Kava tended, like, so there was some stuff going on, and one of the employees had to leave, and I told the owners, it's the place Nocturne where we tape at, and I told him, I was like, listen, bro, like, I'll hop on, bro, you take care of what you have to take care of. I'm here, I know how to Kava 10, and he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. And as soon as I got back there, man, like, it was like, I felt like Thanos putting on the Infinity Glove with all the stones. Like, I was like, it feels so good to be back here. And I ended up, yeah. And I ended up Kava tending for 11 hours straight.
Wow.
And it literally, it felt like I'd been there for 2 hours. Like, it was, somebody came on to take on for the night shift. I was like, listen, dude, I won't take a dime from you. You can literally go chill out and get paid to chill. I will take care of the bar. So me and him, like, he would, like, if it got too busy, he would, like, hop on and just, like, help cash people out. But it genuinely, like, it reawoke something in me where I was like, dude, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I got to chill with all my friends, and it's the bar where all of our friends hang out collectively. And people were like, Mikey behind the bar? What? What's going on? What's going on? And it seriously, I have not had a great night like that in so long.
Aww.
And the people really, like, it just, it's different. It's hard to explain to somebody that hasn't done it and hasn't been able to make that impact. It really is, like, that's my passion, is being able to brew tea, sell tea, talk to people. Dude, I used to get in trouble in school for talking, and now I get paid to talk to people. Like,
Funny how that works.
yeah, right back. You know, I get to send it to my teachers. It's funny. A lot of them reach out. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Talking for a living."
Remember that?
And they were like, "You're really great at that." They're like, "If that was a class, you would have had 100%." But I really appreciate you talking with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really,
Of course.
you really
Thank
do
you for having
exude what the ideal kava tender should be, and we really appreciate you. You know, I know the people here love you as much as we do.
Aw.
And you really got a knack for this, dude. We appreciate it.
Seriously, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you all.
Of course.
Yes, sir. This is Chad. Chad, tell the folks at home what you do, who you are.
I'm a kava tender. You're good?
Oh my God, that's good.
They're both really good, actually. Yeah, where'd you get those?
I bought some from the flea market in Melbourne.
I need a bag.
I'll get you one.
Next time we come out here.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Like I said, this is Chad. He is one of the kava tenders here. And Chad, I mean, Chad's a little bit different. He's a little bit more special to me than everybody else here. Chad is my mistress in Daytona.
Whoa.
He's the
Mikey.
other woman in out of town. Yeah, he keeps me company. Dude, I mean, seriously, I would not be driving an hour and a half, like, twice a month
Unless
if Chad
it
wasn't
didn't work for
working.
him.
You know, Chad or Charles wasn't working. Seriously, like, dude knows how to make the kava bar fun. We do movie nights. I was talking about Tapple. Dude, that night at Tapple that we played, dude, like, Nick has never come out of his shell that quickly with people, and, like, that was so much fun. And the ability that you are to change the room, like, you guys were watching, what movie were we watching? Not Star Wars, but the,
Before Star Wars?
yeah, we were watching,
Oh my lord, what was that?
was it, no, it was before you.
That was before you.
Oh, it was Dune.
It was Dune. Yeah.
They were
How
watching
was
the
your
Dune
night?
movies,
How
and
would you know that?
he wasn't even here.
I was after the movie. Sex movie.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. Bro knew about a movie before he was here. But no, I mean, you really do. You change the atmosphere. You are. Everybody loves you, man. Like it's crazy. Like it's so we have the guys from Melbourne who like you. We have people that drive like the Jen.
Yeah, Tom and June.
They own the business down the road, but they live pretty far away. Like they came out here. It's Jen's birthday, so that's what we were showing. I didn't get to really say that before we did it, but the big birthday song was for Jen. Jen's super awesome. Jen, what's the name of the restaurant?
Don Vito's.
Don Vito's. It is seriously some of the best food. I
What
know
do
they
they
keep you
serve?
fed. Hey, they serve it. It's,
Really good Italian.
yeah, Italian
Okay.
food.
Italian food.
He never
is
goes
good.
hung.
No, no.
He never goes hungry.
I've gained 20 pounds since I started coming in here because they feed me so much.
And they donate so much. Like every time I come in here, they're like, "Oh, eat," and they bring me food. I'm like, if I have to, but no, they're
That's
really
great.
great. I mean, dude, seriously, look how many people are in here right now. Like this is awesome. Like this is what it's about. Everybody's getting together for one person here at the bar. Like this is all for one person's birthday, and we have the bar packed out. It's really great to see. Oh, I'm
for
good.
right
I'm
now.
good. We probably won't do.
Maybe when
we-
I
We're
need
probably
my
not. We
figure
probably
first.
will not do that on camera. That
Wait.
would probably
Keep my
look
figure
Wait,
for
I'm a
camera.
fatty. Come back. I'll take a slice of vanilla.
Every episode, we find out some way to bring food into the mixture. Every single episode, man.
Mike, you've been doing so well since the first 3 episodes.
I don't know, man. Yeah, and Chad has so much aura.
He's got fans out there.
Yeah, he's got fans. Yeah, we got people out in the audience that are loving Chad.
Oh,
Oh,
they're coming up and down.
This guy's lifting his shirt up. That's oh my
wow.
gosh. He's throwing his underwear over here. But no, you really do have a great presence at the bar. Genuinely, I have not met a kava tender so involved. Like you're involved in everything that happens here. You were very
thank
every
you.
time I talk about you at other kava
yeah.
bars, even outside of
great.
Daytona, like people know you. Like I have people. I was talking about how we were coming here. He's like, "Oh, there's this one guy that kind of has like a flat afro." I'm like, "Oh, that's Chad." I was like, "Yeah." And they're like flat afro. No, but like it's crazy. Everybody knows you. They love you over at Kava Java. There's a couple people. Big Dog loves you. Big Dog specifically tells me how much he likes
They're
you.
my people. They're great.
Dude, Big Dog. He goes, I love getting to see Chad. He's so great. And I'm like, dude. And here's the thing: is like, Harald is, he likes everybody, but I'll never forget the first time he came. We set up a meeting with Nocturne and him. One of the owners. He walks up to one of the owners, and like I was like, oh, Harald, this is Thomas, and he goes, sir, I have to tell you right now, you are the most gorgeous man on this earth. And I'm like, and he's so forward about everything. Like, and it was so funny because he's like, yeah, I mentioned it on the podcast, like, you're very straightforward. And his wife's like, yeah, it's not always great. But no, he loves you. And like, he's a really good judge of character. And I mean, everybody who comes in here, they can't help but smile whenever you're working, dude. You're really charismatic. You know the product. I was saying Charles is really great. I've got to firsthand witness both of you now. Two people came in here that never had kava or kratom, and he explained it very well. And I remember you had a first timer come in here not too long ago when I was here, and you explained it very well. And it's very important to a kava bar, somebody be able to explain their products.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we've talked a lot about on this episode, but it's just because you guys are you're so freaking good at it. Like you guys really, you serve a good drink, you make a good drink. I mean, Chad was the star of our commercial for Mitra and our star for the RAD Kava commercial. He was there making the drinks. I think it was one of the best shots I've ever made in general for any kava bar. Just you making the drink. We flipped it down, the camera down into the barrel, pulled it up. He poured some drinks flavors into it. You really you put on a show, man. Like I could see you. Like you could most definitely be one of those people that has like a late night show. You could be the next Conan, bro. The next Jimmy Fallon.
That much.
Hey, dude,
But, like,
James Corden got fired, so I'm sure you could get his job.
It also wouldn't have looked as good without your artistic.
Oh,
work.
I mean, you know.
I,
Yeah.
I was
They're
just
just
there.
flirting
I
over
was just
here.
the
Yeah,
action.
this is gonna be 10 minutes of us just hitting on each other. Yeah, and you're gonna see.
I gotta let everyone know what's mine.
Yeah, you got. Ooh. But Chad, you know, we really like to kind of get to know the people that serve here in the community. So, you've been around, man. Like,
I have.
you've gotten around to some kava bars. Where did it all start for you?
I was hanging out there all the time. I was going in before my shift to get a tea for work, especially on Sundays because I hate mornings and that was brunch. And then yeah, they were just like, you could tell they were getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And they were my friends at the time. I really liked them, so I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to help as much as I could, so I ended up. I think it was every other Monday, every Tuesday and Wednesday I was kava tending, and then Thursday through Sunday I was bartending. But then I got burnt out after like a month and a half, 2 months of that.
I feel like owning your
That's how it
own
goes.
business,
Yeah.
like, it's your pride and joy as the owner, and you are there 24/7, especially when it opens. So for you to do that for them, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, and they were great people when I first met them. And then, yeah, once I got burnt out from working 13 days in a row every 2 weeks, I was like, yo, if I want to work here full time.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to kava tending.
Good stuff.
And yeah, that's how I got in. That was about 3-ish years ago now, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's crazy to see, it's crazy to see the variety and how long people have been in the community. Because I've been in it about 7 years or so, and it's crazy to see like even people like you've only been in it for about 3 years. Like it's crazy to see how much impact you've made on the community. And
Thank you.
I'm kind of curious, being a part of RAD Kava, what are some things you have coming up next? Like what's the next big thing that's coming up?
Oh, the next big thing that's coming up is our kava crawl.
Yeah, we're getting into that a little bit, but you
Yeah.
can explain that to the folks at home.
Yeah, we're doing a big, it's Volusia County's first kava crawl. Of course, it's going to be us. It's going to be drink right around the corner. Kava Job is going to be
We
a
love
part of
Java.
it.
We were just there.
Amazing people.
It's gonna be a huge event.
Yes, it is. And hopefully it just gets bigger. And then, of course, Sunset and Roots out in DeLand are going to be a part of it. But yeah, hopefully it gets bigger. We might just do it every 3 months or so for now. Hopefully it gets big enough to do it every month. I
sure.
think that would be
Yeah.
awesome. Hopefully we can add more bars and just keep growing the community here in
Yeah.
Volusia County.
That's what it's all about, is making the community grow big.
For sure.
So one thing I forgot to ask David about, but maybe you can kind of give us some insight, is what are you guys doing with that? You guys are tearing down a wall, maybe?
Oh, yes.
So what are you doing with that?
We got some renovations here coming soon, because in the back we have a little private room. It has some storage in it, but also if it's too loud in here, you can go sit back there, be alone, study or whatever.
Where you and
But-
Mikey make out?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's- yeah.
No, we do that up here. We do
Yeah.
it on the bar. We don't hide our love.
Yeah, we actually just like
Actually.
push everything off
Yeah.
and just make room. I got a fat ass, so you gotta fit me up on the bar.
100%. But we're hopefully turning it into a stage, so we can start having like some live music.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'd love to.
Yeah, some live music.
Hosting like karaoke or
Karaoke
even
night.
trivia or anything where the person can stand up front, or I guess in the back, but stand up on the stage and talk to everyone.
Charles can work on his backflip. He can learn to do backflips off the stage. Then we'll have him crowd surf across the bar. It'll be really great.
He can backflip into a split already.
Oh.
Get
us right now.
Yeah, get a couple shells and then we can get him to do that.
I got you 100%. Yeah.
So I mean that's some pretty crazy stuff. Like one thing we talked about is we love the ambiance of this bar. Like I mean, I've never seen such a colorful kava bar. Like it's crazy. You have art everywhere. You have the rainbow lights. You have the paint.
Yeah,
You
big,
have
beautiful murals.
lots of colorful pillows, and I mean colorful people here in the kava bar. You have a lot of great people. Yeah, you got them. Yeah. Hey, shout out to you, baby boy. But we love it out here. We've never seen anything like it. I mean, like this is more of a New York bar than the bar in New York. Like this is having the break building, the string lights, the outdoor area. Like you guys it might not be huge, but you guys have an outdoor area, which is nice because especially out right now, the weather's perfect.
Oh, weather's
I mean,
amazing.
these two are kind of weenies, so they have to wear jackets. But But I love the cold. I love it whenever it's, and it's not cold. It is not
No,
cold
I
out there.
love the cool.
I think it's
mean,
cold.
coolness,
What
not
are y'all
cold.
talking
Lauren, listen, come talk to us whenever you get beefy. All right. But yeah, no, it's really awesome. We really appreciate you coming up here, man. I mean, the three of you guys are like the three
Yeah.
amigos. You guys keep me coming back for more.
I do my best, man.
And
thank you for coming up the one day you finally did.
yeah, dude, honestly, it was crazy. After that first time of just getting to hang out with you guys for like, I originally was just gonna come out here for an hour. I performed at Kava Java from 8 to 10, and I came over here at 10:30. I was like, oh, I'll stay for an hour, and then I ended up staying till like 4 a.m.
Oh my god.
And then I mean, it was history since then. I mean,
It's just such a good time
that,
here.
I think that day really was instrumental because I got to meet everybody that's in here now was here that day, and just the way that you guys welcomed me in, like as if I'd been a member of this Kava bar for like years. You guys had just welcomed me in. I would come for game nights, I'd come for movie nights, I'd bring my friends out here. I mean, it's crazy. Like right now we have a mixture of people, like we have people from Melbourne but live out here now. Josh is besties with David, and it's just crazy to see like Josh was incremental to getting David to, you know, open his own bar and like get him into the community.
I didn't know that.
And it's awesome. I mean, and here's the thing is David was in Orlando, Melbourne, you're from St. Augustine. Like it's crazy to see everything comes together, you know, for a reason. But we really appreciate you coming up and talking, Chad.
Yeah, thank you so
Never a dull
much.
moment with
I
you.
appreciate
Of course.
y'all.
All right, Chad. Whoa. Damn, you're the one to get applause. That's crazy. We're gonna be doing a quick speed round of our breaking barrier segment where we break down the barrier between podcast hosts and just members of the community. You know, we are just people. We're just dudes and bras,
Yeah.
and we kind of just like to let you in to our lives outside of the Kava community and what's going on with us. So, what's going on with you, Lauren?
So I guess I'll talk about my weekend like usual, but instead of my past weekend, I'll talk about the weekend before because I feel like I did way more. I went to West Palm, as you guys know, if you watch the podcast weekly. I went to Repticon with my boyfriend, and there were so many different.
You got
Have I talked
tarantula,
about
right?
this? Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about it on the last episode,
Oh,
but
okay. What
you
should
can
I
talk about the week prior now that you've had a tarantula for a week.
Oh yeah, so we fed him and he like took it with his little claws and just grabbed it. It was honestly kind of scary, but it was a lot easier than I thought. He's been doing good. He built a giant web. In his
Yo,
little...
is he writing messages? Is it like Charlotte's Web? Is he saying, Lauren, you have 5 days to live?
Yeah, something like that.
If we got you a shiesty, would you wear it with us?
What the fuck is a shiesty?
It's like the ski mask.
Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Good to know.
But yeah, he's making himself at home. And I guess this past weekend I went to Orlando for like a bike meet out there. And I don't know, just kind of kept it easy going. I needed to rest. Like we've been go, like a lot of school, a lot of homework I've been having to do, work, all of that, just daily life stuff, you know.
Okay.
So just like a relaxing weekend for the most part, nothing too crazy.
Okay. Well, what was my week like? Me and Alex came. Okay, well, actually, so this past week we shot another commercial for Mitra.
I was
Alex
sad
and
I couldn't go to that.
Yeah, it was right here. You know, Lauren's a busy gal.
I am almost done with my degree, guys.
She's a tarantula parent.
Tarantula parent.
But I came here and I shot a commercial for RAD Kava. It turned out pretty dang well. I think it was our best commercial yet. We had Chad in it. Charles was in it as well. David was in it. It was great. We got a little bit of everybody up in it. We had our friend Caitlin up from Jacksonville. She's one of the affiliates with us, and we got to shoot a little commercial
didn't I meet
for
her at Kava Java?
You did not. You did
No?
not get to meet
Okay.
her. So you met Paloma.
Okay.
But Caitlin is from Jacksonville, and we did a little collab. It's up on our
awesome.
Instagram. If you guys want to go check that out, give it a share and a like. Make sure you use our codes.
Yeah.
What else?
I think you should fill them in for the new viewers about the giveaway.
Oh, so this is the last week. By the time this goes in, it's going to be our last week for our giveaway. Anybody that wants to enter to win, we are giving away a 4-pack of Mitra Kratom seltzers, a 4-pack of Mitra Kava seltzers, as well as some M9 shots and some Go packs.
Yeah, lots
So
of good
the
things.
best way and the most effective way to enter to win is all you gotta do is be subscribed to the YouTube channel, like and follow the Instagram, and every post you comment, like, and subscribe to, you will enter. It'll give you 2 entries to win or enter to win this. And March 1st, we will be doing a drawing to see who wins, and we'll get it out to you guys in any way we can. We'll ship it to you if we have to.
Yep.
But it's gonna be really great. Mitra's been a really great sponsor of ours
have. They've
and
taken
donated a
care
lot
of
for
us.
us. and they allow us to
you
take care of
guys.
you. Yeah, it's been really great. I really appreciate Mitra, and I really appreciate the community for being so inviting to us,
Yes.
having us out here. So like I said, March 1st is the day we're drawing. So the last day of February, February 28th is the last day to enter to win.
Yeah.
So if you guys
Get
want to
those
do that,
comments down there.
make sure you get those like and comments. Awesome, guys. Well, my name is Mikey too,
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
and it's been the Breaking Brews podcast. Thanks for watching this week,
Bye, guys.
See ya.